We have finally gotten to the adaptation of the Dragon Ball Super superhero movie into the manga, and you can celebrate because it's not too late to get your hands on a piece of the then, now, and forever Gohan merch line that celebrates Dragon Ball Super superhero, the movie, and now the manga, available in t-shirts, multiple different types, and hoodies, as well as different colors and sizes, ships all over the world. This merch line was the most successful I had ever done in the channel, and now is your chance to own Then, Now, and Forever. The link is down below. We have got early, super early chapter 91 leaks for the DBS manga. If you want to wait for the chapter to come out, it will be out this coming Sunday. I'll have my review up that morning and we'll discuss it, I'm sure, as the days go by. But we do have some leaks of chapter 91. If you don't care, hang out. If you want to wait, that's okay too. We have now gotten to the point where we're at the Dragon Ball Super superhero movie adaptation part, but there's obviously some extra scenes, and we're going to discuss a little bit of that here today on this video. Real quick programming note. This Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern, join me over on Twitch, twitch.tv/Big D Geekdom 101. We're going to be finishing up the Pilaf arc, the last 3 episodes of the Pilaf arc of Dragon Ball, this Saturday on Twitch, twitch.tv/Big D Geekdom 101. If you're already following me over there, then you're good. If not, join us because it's a fun time watching this in high definition. The absolute best way to watch Dragon Ball is with me on Twitch. Now, that's the old stuff. Let's get to the current stuff. Let's go. Yeah, I don't want to save that document. Okay, here we go. This is a new scene that has been added to the manga adaptation. Early on in the movie, if you remember, Magenta and Dr. Hedo are having a discussion, and this is where Magenta tries to, basically recruit him for the Red Ribbon Army. Here we have Krillin, who is actually with Hachimaru. Well, you see Hachimaru there on the left. He seems to be following the car that Carmine was driving with Magenta and with Hedo in it. So this is extra stuff for Krillin to do. This manga chapter does seem to have a lot more for Krillin to do that was not in the movie. So if you're a Krillin fan, you're at least going to get some more stuff. Obviously, many of you have been following me for a long time. You already know that the manga and the movies and the anime are different continuities, so there's going to be some changes, but most of it seems to be the same. Here we have Krillin hiding atop the car because they're trying to get Dr. Hedo, follow Dr. Hedo and Magenta. Remember, Krillin was also important to the prequel stuff that we saw last 3 chapters. So then the very next page here, Krillin jumps off, and this is, of course, that conversation they had. No different than the film, apparently. Just extra stuff with Krillin that wasn't there. Krillin was nowhere to be found in the movie version, so it's just extra stuff. Maybe Toyotaro was a Krillin fan. And then here's the part where the car spins. If you remember in the movie, this did happen. So, again, very similar. Next page here, we have what appears to be Hachimaru being injured. Like, look at Hachimaru there on the right panel. Looks like he's injured there. So that's new, kind of. But, of course, they have to introduce Hachimaru because we know what ends up happening to Magenta later on in the story. Next chapter here, we have Hachimaru again having a confrontation with Krillin. That's new. And, again, it's more for Krillin to do. I think some Krillin fans are going to be pissed because it looks like he's over here getting embarrassed by a spy robot. But, hey, take it however you want to. We'll see what happens. And here is Krillin on the side of the road because he lost them. Hachimaru saved Magenta and Dr. Hedo. So that's all new. Like, it's the same scene with new stuff in it. Moving on, here we have the scene from the film where Piccolo goes to get Gohan to check up on him with the whole thing about him picking up Pan from school. And Gohan has slacked off in his training. Right there in the left, you can see... I'll use my mouse here. You can see the Super Saiyans, as they called it in the dub. That's still there. So it looks like it's just kind of a mimic of what we saw in the film, perhaps with extra dialogue. Here we have the scene where Piccolo tries to test Gohan's reflexes and Gohan blocks them. I'm glad that Toyotaro was able to get the haircut and the look of Gohan to match up with the film. So that's good. That's good stuff. Next chapter here. This was not in the movie, however. Piccolo uppercuts Gohan. He uppercuts him with the other hand. Gohan's reflexes are apparently not as quick as he had thought. And I like this. I actually like this a lot. I really do. Here we have the scene where Piccolo manifests his clothing, his cape and whatnot to Gohan to remind him to keep training. If you've seen the movie, you already know where this is going. So this is the first time in quite a few chapters that we don't know where this is going. It kind of reminds me of when the Battle of Gods manga arc was out, and we kind of knew where they were going because we had seen the movie and the anime. But when the manga version came out, which was after the anime, like slower, that is when, well, no, it was during. I think it was during, actually. I don't really remember. It's been like years. But basically, we were kind of like trying to figure out what they were going to change. That seems to be the same energy that we're in right now. Moving on here, we have the arrival. And again, it looks different here, but it's the same story. The arrival and confrontation early in the movie between Piccolo and Gamma 2. We have Gamma 2 there being revealed. Again, very similar to the film. There's no question that Toyotaro has a copy of the film, and he's obviously using that to draw up his characters. He got the look of Gamma 2 right, thankfully. I know some folks were wondering like if we're going to get another set of androids before the Gammas. We talked about this a few times in previous videos about how we could get like, you know, Delta or something. But no, the Gammas have already been built. If you're one of those fans who wanted to see Dr. Hedo building the Gammas, unfortunately, that's not in this chapter, at least not from the leaks that we have so far, and nothing about Broly yet. So, again, man, I'm wondering why they're doing this in a different way. I kind of really wanted them to introduce or to reintroduce Broly here. I'm sure we'll get it. I don't think we're not going to get that. It's just strange that you want to have the Broly training happen earlier. Like you want to show how he ended up on Beerus's planet and why he was on Beerus's planet. I think that's important. Here we have the awesome scene where Gamma 2's like, you know, doing the gunslinger gimmick. And this is, of course, where Piccolo recognizes that he is not a human. That's not what he is. And then we have, of course, the superhero pose, and Toyotaro makes sure to zoom in on the red ribbon insignia. So it looks like a lot of the story is being adapted the same. A few extra scenes, don't get me wrong, but they're not going to make any crazy changes. And I wasn't expecting that. I was not expecting that to be the case with this manga chapter. And, I mean, I don't know if they're going to add more stuff with Cell Max or, you know, if they're going to tell us what happened after, like with Dr. Hedo working for Capsule Corp. If we're going to see more of Goten and Trunks, I don't think we will because Victory Uchida said that their part of the story is done. So if you were waiting for more Goten and Trunks, you know, what do you want me to tell you? Not happening. And here we have actually this scene. I guess I listed these wrong, and I apologize for that. This is, I guess I haven't read the chapter yet, so I don't know what order they're in, but this is probably at the beginning when Krillin is leaving the police department after the speech was made about getting the Red Ribbon Army, leading to Magenta and Hedo's conversation in the car, which is what leads to the recruitment. So let's see when the full chapter comes out what happens. I'm sure I'll have a full summary either today or tomorrow here on the channel, and then we'll have the reviews up this weekend. Thank you, as always, for your support. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And Saturday on Twitch.